Welcome back to the Lockwood Chronicles. My name is Larissa, and today we are going over the 6 books that I read in August. A little clumpy. I wanted to get one more lavender vanilla matcha before I switch over to my pumpkin. I love summer, and I always get really sad when summer is done, but I also really love fall. I just want them both. Why can't I have both? Why choose? Alright, like I said, I read 6 books in August, which was great. Summer is so busy, so reading gets kind of put on the back burner for me because I am running all over the place trying to play outside, get as much vitamin D before winter comes. I just get really busy in the summer trying to enjoy as much good weather as we can have here in Minnesota, and it's been really stormy and rainy. I try to be outside as much as possible on the sunny days. So like I said, reading takes a little bit of a back burner for me, but the fact that I read 6 books is still phenomenal. And if you read any books, one book, half a book, a page, that's fantastic. Good for you. Good job. I just have a lot of books on my TBR that I want to get to and get through, and it is never ending. And that's what I love about reading. Anyway, let's go over the stats. So I read, 6 books, 2,550 pages, and my average rating this month was 4 stars. I read 3 romances, 1 fantasy, and 2 general fiction. Maybe a little bit of fantasy. I would say that they're more general fiction. That's just my opinion. That's my opinion! The first book that I read this, I was gonna say semester. I've been out of school now for, 3-4 years now? Alright, the first book that I read in August was Clytemnestra by Costanza Casati. And this is about Clytemnestra. It's a Greek mythological retelling. I feel like I read this so long ago, and I know it was at the beginning of August, but it just feels like forever ago. Clytemnestra is such a badass. She is so strong and such a great leader. She is from Sparta, and the women learned to fight there, and she is a really phenomenal fighter, really great at wrestling, can take so many people down. But it's following Clytemnestra and her journey from childhood to teenage to adult years, and her take on power and leadership, as well as just scheming and stuff. I really enjoyed this book. I really loved Clytemnestra. It did feel a little bit long to me because some parts just they do drag out, but at the same time, there was so much research history into this. I think Costanza really did a great job embodying that as well and doing her due diligence. I love the crossover with other Greek myths such as Achilles and Odysseus, the Odyssey. So that was really great to see other characters throughout Greek mythology that I am familiar with because I love Greek mythology. If you want a nice feminist retelling about a badass woman, Clytemnestra is your gal. She's your queen. Take another sip of this. I woke up at 3:30 this morning and could not fall back asleep. Why? Why is my insomnia picking up again? No idea. It's the weekend. I did not do a good job blending this. I just got a huge clump of matcha powder. The next book was in my Romantasy book club that we had our first meeting, and it was so exciting. This is an in-person book club that I'm in. It was so great, and we read The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. I had such a great time reading this book. It combined everything that I really love about other books that I read as a teenager, as well as ACOTAR. I really loved the trials. It just felt like something that had similar elements to other books that I loved so much, but not copy-paste, and had its own elements too. Oriah is our FMC and Rain is our MMC. I love Rain. He's definitely sunshine, whereas Oriah is more of the grumpy or just more standoffish. So I really like that reverse. I love a reverse grumpy sunshine. I loved seeing their relationship develop. I really kind of was intrigued in more on the political aspects, as well as the trials were really good too. I just had a really great time reading it. The last 100 pages, it was just boom, 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 boom. So much happened. It was a blast, and I'm so excited because if you watch my TBR, you would have seen that the next book that I'm reading for Romantasy is the second book. And it's a duology, so low commitment. We love that for us. I think it's a really great starting point for Romantasy because it had some world building, but not too much that you couldn't follow. I also just take things as they come. I really don't try to figure things out. I'm just there for the vibes. I read, I'm that's what I was told. Sounds great. In my opinion, I had a great time with it. And the third book that I read was for my other book club that I have with some friends too, and that's a virtual one, and it is In the Lives of Puppets by TJ Klune. TJ Klune has a way of writing that makes his adult books feel YA. It's so whimsical and magical and just really cozy. It's futuristic where AI kind of takes over, so it is very relevant to today in the sense of where AI is heading. I really just don't want to say too much about it. But it's a found family, AI is involved, like robots, that kind of stuff. It was cozy, it was cute, and I just love the relationships in there. I highly enjoy if you want like a more cozy fantasy style of writing. And then I started reading some more romance. So these last three are strictly romance, and I had such a blast with all three of them. Starting off with The Catch by Amy Lee. The third book in the Influencer series. They are interconnected standalones, so you can read whichever ones you want. It doesn't really matter the order. You might just get spoiled about the couples, like who ends up together kind of thing. But it's not anything wild. The first one is Set on You, and that is about a fitness blogger. The second one is X's and O's, and that is a bookstagrammer or book talker. And this one, our girly pop here, she is like a fashion beauty Instagram model influencer. Not model, but like influencer. She has a lot of financial insecurity due to her past. She also has a lot of family trauma and feels like she needs to be everything to everyone. Her content isn't keeping up with the current trends, or like she's just losing a lot of followers, so that's where her financial insecurity is really kicking in at. She is looking to kind of revamp things. So she gets offered to check out this hotel or the spa retreat in Canada. And so she's like, yeah, I need the money. Maybe this will be the thing, the change that I need. Boost my content and boost my subscribers again. She goes on up there. They mix up the dates. And so she's like, well, what am I going to do here for a week? She checks into this Airbnb that doesn't look like it's open. Everything is under construction. It's dusty, blah, blah, blah. And then enters this really, really grumpy man. So he just seems to really hate her. For no reason. He pretty much gets tasked around with like helping her explore the area while she waits for her spa trip to happen in the next town over. Anyway, something happens and she ends up claiming that they're fake fiancés. And then the family gets involved, and then it's this whole spiral thing. So fun, small town romance, just really great setting. It was more summer turning into fall setting, I would say. And I feel like it dealt with a lot of good topics. I think this is my favorite out of the three so far. I don't know if there will be any more, but this one was my favorite. And I just had such a great time reading it. It was just so cutesy. Then the next book I checked out from my library via my Kindle, and that is The Art of Catching Feelings by Alicia Thompson. This is a baseball romance. You know me, I love a sports romance. This was also so fun. I read this in a day. I could not put it down. I don't know what it was about it. It wasn't anything like revolutionary, but I had such a great time reading it. I think it was like right book, right time. And it was also like right weather for it too. I'm blanking on the FMC's name. I should really look this up beforehand or take notes or something. Daphne. Daphne is our girly pop. What's our guy's name? It doesn't matter. He's just a man. Hit him with your car. No, he was so sweet. Daphne goes to this baseball game. Her brother and sister-in-law work for the team, or like around the team. Her sister is one of the sideline reporters, and her brother does managerial stuff. Daphne just signed divorce papers. She's at this game. She just wanted the tickets from her ex so that her ex couldn't have them. So she and her bestie go to this game, and then she gets really drunk and starts heckling. And she heckles this one baseball player, and he looks devastated. He starts kind of crying. Oh, his name is Chris. Duh. It makes more sense in the book why his name is Chris. He kind of starts crying while he's batting, and she's like, oh my gosh, I just ruined this guy's life. And so it blows up over social media. She is like, I feel horrible. And so she DMs him via Instagram and is like, I'm so sorry, blah, 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 and writes this whole spiel. However, when she copy-pasted it from her notes, it did not include the, I'm sorry, I was the heckler. So he just happens to see the first line and was intrigued by this. And it's her bookstagram, and her bookstagram is like Ducky S Books. So different name, and no identifiers on there, just books. And so he starts DMing her, and they start chatting, and she's like, I don't think he realizes I'm the heckler. And she's too nervous to like bring it up because he's being very vulnerable with her, and they're having a really great conversation. And then things progress, and it just gets a little messy. It was so fun. I love a baseball. I love a baseball boy. Baseball and hockey. And football. I love sports. It was just, the vibes were there. It was a cute romance. It had spice in it. I really love this. I love the cover of this book too. I think it's gorgeous. I would love to see it on my shelf one day. If I can find it thrifted, that'd be fantastic. The last book that I read this month, in the nick of time, was Daydream by Hannah Grace. Another sports romance. This one is a hockey romance. It is the third book in the Maple Hills series, and this is Henry's story. And we've all been dying for Henry's story. We love Henry. Henry is such a king. And guess what? Henry continues to be the king. Henry's amazing. I love him. I love Hallie. Hallie was such a great FMC. Oh my goodness. I did a whole reading vlog on this and it will be up in a few videos, so feel free to check that out. It is spoiler free. This was a 5-star read for me. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was perfection. There were so many things that I highlighted throughout here. I was giggling, kicking my feet. Henry is just such a star, and especially from the relationship Hallie just got out of. Henry was like, you are thanking me for doing the bare minimum right now. That's not acceptable. And he continues to be the king that we know he is. And I love the messaging in this too. Hallie is very understanding and also can read him very well in the sense that she can anticipate what he needs and when he needs to step away when he is feeling overwhelmed, and she allows him to do that. And Henry encourages Hallie to like be who she already is because she's so lovable in the first place, but also allow her to have experiences outside of them being friends and like making her own friends and connections too, and encouraging that as well. He accidentally crashes her romance book club, and he ends up needing help with some homework from a different professor because they do not match teaching and learning styles, and Hallie loves that professor and knows exactly what is needed. So Henry asks her to help him out with that, and in exchange he will give her some experiences. It's so wholesome and cute, and there's spice, there is spice, but not a lot. Definitely not as much as the other two books, I feel like, from what I recall. Our girly pop, she is a Swiftie. There were some subtle Swiftie references. If you were a normal person, you wouldn't really notice it that much, but me being a Swiftie, I picked up on it. Although there were some like more obvious ones, but also some deep cuts in there. And also there's playlists, and Taylor Swift is on the playlist. It just makes me so happy. I had such a great time reading this. I highly encourage you to pick it up because it was just so fun. I love the Maple Hills series. I can't wait to see whose book is next because I have no clue, or if there even will be. I hope so, because this is phenomenal. So those were the 6 books that I read this month, this August, this time of year. What books did you read in August? What books were your favorite? Did you have a favorite? Did you have any 5 stars? I would love to know. Put them in the comments below. That would be great. And then feel free to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any other wrap-ups, TBRs, reading vlogs, etc. And like this video, as well as respect others, respect yourself, and do something amazing with your day. Thanks. Bye.